Imagine if a man says that he likes movies and that he's kind of a cinephile, and then you find out that all he watches is porn. You would probably think to yourself, this guy doesn't like movies, he just is horny. That's exactly how I feel about these BookTok girls that just read smut. Y'all have taken this beautiful art form of literature, of prose and these grand stories of human experience, and just dumbed it down to be your little plaything. And I know we live in this really pro-sex society, but y'all have made me Puritan. I don't want to be reading a book and then realize that I'm just reading the author's sick fantasies. I am done. I'm over that. Do you know how depressing it is to talk to a woman that says that she likes books and then just find out she's just reading A Gooner's Guide to the Galaxy? Like, please, pick up 1984, pick up a classic. Not even that, pick up a contemporary fantasy book that has a story to tell. There are romances that are just romances. Like, Pride and Prejudice is brilliant. It just drives me a little bit bonkers. And yeah, I do want that BookTok smoke.
Tell me you don't know how fantasizing works without telling me you don't know how fantasizing works. The way you talk about how we live in a pro-sex society in a very sarcastic tone leads me to believe that the spice-loving women of TikTok didn't make you a Puritan. You already were one. Also, where is this pro-sex society you speak of? Working as a lady of the night is illegal and/or underregulated in almost the entire country, and the United States government is trying, and in some cases succeeding, to ban corn from the internet. The Black and Orange website is actually banned in many states in this country. Did you know that? Bet you didn't. I can't help but notice that most of the people who are getting in a tizzy over spicy romance books on BookTok are men. And the rest are pygmies who want to appeal to these men for clouds. And I was shocked, utterly shocked, to find that this guy Tommy is conservative. Shocked, I say. He mentioned enjoying the music liberal musicians make, but that's all the credit I'm giving him. Because like most conservative men, he wants to police what women do to relax. Women aren't even allowed to read whatever books they want anymore. They must read the chaste and pure literature of Jane Austen and the Bronte sisters. My favorite is when this guy said that women should read classics like 1984, because there's absolutely no smut in that book. The entire catalyst of the plot is that the love interest Julia wants to rebel against the party by fucking the hero Winston's brains out. Are we reading the same book? And how dare this guy hashtag call me Chris in the description of his video. Tommy, I saw the video she did about BookTok before she took it down, and you guys are not raging about the same thing. Sure, she talks about the impracticality and the implausibility of a lot of the circumstances that are portrayed in these books, but she didn't start getting upset until she started talking about the spicy books that are being placed in the young adult section in Barnes & Noble. Her issue was whether children were reading these books, not women. Being a fairly forward-thinking woman herself, I very much doubt she actually had a problem with women reading these books. Also, as I said at the beginning of my spiel, this guy clearly doesn't understand how fantasizing works. He seems to be conflating it with fetishizing, which is a very different thing. He seems to be unaware that fantasizing takes place in the mind. The women who fantasize about this shit don't actually want to do any of it, and thank the gods for that. Have you actually read any of the spicy books on BookTok, Tommy? Speaking as a woman myself, I don't want to run into the woman who reads that and then tries to apply it to real life. But that's the thing, isn't it? You seem to believe that a woman who reads A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas actually hopes to get abducted by some high fae lord human equivalent so she can eventually bond with him and sleep with him. You seem to believe that a woman who reads Verity by Colleen Hoover actually wants to go out and fuck a married man as his wife lays on her deathbed. You seem to believe that a woman who reads Credence by Penelope Douglas actually wants to go out and fuck her uncle and cousins in the same weekend. Nobody worth taking seriously actually wants to do any of this shit, and deep down you know that. You and everyone who thinks like you simply want to control what women do in their off time. You want to preserve this weird image you have of the homely homemaker who never strays from the path set out for her by the man in her life, and any woman who doesn't fit that image is abnormal to you. Please, for the love of all things sacred, go to therapy and unpack this. Please go to a support group and learn that what other people do in their spare time is none of your business. Please stop acting like if enough women read smutty books, it's yet another sign that society as we know it is crumbling around us. Please stop acting like if enough women read Haunting Adeline, it means that the pillars of heaven are shaking and the end times are nigh. Please stop acting like if enough women read Twisted Games, the angels on high are going to descend upon us and destroy humankind like in that shitty movie Legion. Let people enjoy things. Let people enjoy books. People are actually reading books instead of doom scrolling on TikTok and Instagram reels, and you're trying to spin this into some situation in which, because of the content of the books they're reading, this is somehow a bad thing. Grow the fuck up. Maybe pick up one of these books and bat one out yourself. Something tells me you desperately need it.